Right then, guys, welcome back into the Spooky Shed, your go-to place for conversations around all things weird, scary, and, of course, spooky. Tonight with me, I have got Mike, a member of New Dawn Paranormal. So, Mike, welcome into the shed. How are we?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Good, good. Not too bad. As always, fucking freezing my tits off in this fucking shed, but it's what I have to do.
Unfortunately.
Exactly.
But I've got my shorts on, so I'm all right. The house is just not bad. The wife's just not going to turn the heating off, so I'm all right.
Oh, well, I say I'm freezing. I'm kind of glad to be in it because it's a bit of a cool down because my house is like a fucking hot box. Because fucking Little isn't very well, so we've got the fucking heating on upstairs. I had to put fucking heating on downstairs because my missus has got a big fucking horrible fucking coat thing that she decided to fucking wash, and thought it'd be a good idea to hang it on the back of the door. And then washed the fucking cat bed as well, and thought that'd be a good idea just to hang on the back of the chair. So my kitchen was fucking flooded. So I was like, why put them on the fucking radiators and put the heating on? But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So,
it is, yes, it is.
Exactly. Right, anyway, mate, so I prepped you today, so I've not given you a lot of time to think about it, but I always get my guests to leave something in the shed with me, so it can be anything you want. The weirder the better, preferably, but it can be literally anything. Something you love, something you hate, a person, a place, whatever the hell you want. To give you a bit of a clue of how some of the weirder things that have been left in here, so I've had a lump of coal left in here, a bit of a tree, PlayStation, that was cool, a butt plug. Exactly.
Nice.
So when I say literally anything, I mean literally anything, mate. So what have you got for me? What we're leaving in the shed?
Guitars. I just love guitars. Yeah. I can't think of anything weird like but guitars. My music is my sort of, how can I put it, medicine sort of thing.
Mm.
When I'm in a bad place, or if I'm feeling a bit down or something like that, that's something I always sort of turn to is music.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff when my dad was alive, some of the stuff he used to listen to, bit of Pink Floyd, that sort of thing. So it's all the classic albums and stuff like that, where I sort of put myself in a room, headphones in, whatever, earpods or whatever you want, and just whack an album on or a couple of tunes. I've got my own little Spotify playlist where some songs are on constant repeat all the time.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. That's what I live for, music and the paranormal. Not just that, but and the paranormal.
I like that. I like that. It's a good shout. It's a good shout, and it's not, you're not the first person to leave a guitar in here. So we've got two in here now. So I'm more than happy with that. And mentioning Pink Floyd, The Wall, possibly the best album ever. It's up there with fucking Rumours by Fleetwood Mac for me.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
My first Floyd album I bought was Dark Side of the Moon on tape.
Aye.
But I do have it on Spotify. I have it on vinyl.
Yeah.
I have it on CD. It's a bit obsessed.
It's on everything then.
It's on everything, mate. Yeah. How things have changed over the years, like going from tape, like vinyl, tape, CD to now what it is nowadays.
Yeah. I was at work yesterday, and two members of staff didn't know what cassettes were. They didn't even know what VHS was. And that just made me feel about 100 years old. I was just like, I'm gonna be dead soon.
I'm sure I've got I'm positive we've got like video cassettes and even tapes in the loft.
I've got a fucking cassette tattooed on my fucking arm.
Yeah.
Like I said to him, I was like, do you not know what that is? They were like, no. I was like, oh, fuck this, Sam. Fucking going home. Right, anyway, Mike, so I always like to start at the beginning because it's a good place to start. So Where does your interest in the paranormal and all the weird shit in life, as I always say, where does that all start for you?
Started for me when I was a very small boy. I used to live in a place called Eyemouth, which is sort of just over the border of Scotland, not far from like Berwick here and whatnot. But that's where it all started from. I used to live in this house. I still remember it very well. I used to live in this house, and a lot of weird shit would go on. We would have footsteps up from upstairs. We'd have wardrobe doors open on their own. Usual banging, clanging sort of thing, and things going through walls, walking through walls. Growing up in that environment was, for me, like for a kid at that age, like maybe it's 4, 5. So, vaguely remembering what, is stuff happening around the house. And for me, it was, I don't know, it was scary at the time, like, because obviously you were just a small kid then. But as the things went on, particular house that we lived in, it's not been the only kind of paranormal activity that we've experienced, that I've experienced over the years. I've lived in a cottage that was haunted.
Mm.
I've seen apparitions. Just you wake up and something's there, not like actually staring right at your face. Even though I've always had this sense of like the dream that I've had about me is waking up and then something's just staring right at your face
Yeah,
and
yeah.
scare the shit out of you, sort of thing.
Aye.
But for me, like I say, that's where it all started for me was that sort of being at a young age,
Mm.
experiencing stuff like that. Light bulbs flying out the fittings and things like that, that sort of
Right.
thing. And watching me older brother hanging out a bedroom window, rocking backwards and forwards, that sort of thing. That was
Why?
pretty scary shit. Why? We didn't know. He used to break his bars off his cot. He used to smear stuff all over the walls. You'd be sitting there, he'd be rocking backwards and forwards. And
Fucking hell.
yeah, that was that, like,
Yeah, that's literally the word I was just gonna say. That sounds pretty fucking intense, to be fair, like.
like, yeah, like something like Exorcist style sort of
Yeah.
thing, like,
I was gonna say your brother's not called Damien, is he?
no, no, no,
Fucking
no,
hell.
the house used to be like, and I always remember these. I don't know if you've heard these before, but my mum and dad used to have these 3 pictures up on the wall of crime boys,
Yeah.
and they had 3 of them above the fireplace. They had this like cheapy sort of 80s fireplace, like,
Mm.
and so I remember them being on the wall, and why they were a fashion hit back then. I wouldn't like, let's say it must have been a fashion hit, but why they were sort of like house decor back then was beyond me. That did cause some crazy shit to happen. And I remember my dad used in the back garden, sort of trying to set light a fire to them, and they wouldn't catch a hold.
Yeah, they're almost a bit of almost like an urban legend, them paintings, aren't they? Because there's so many stories of, like, people that had them
Mm,
paintings in the house, like you say, in the 70s and the 80s and stuff, and, like, bad things happened.
yeah,
It's really weird, like I said, for it just to be for like I said, I mean, surely it can't be coincidence. There's just too many stories for it to be coincidence. But it's weird for, like I said, to be that many stories behind them. It's
mhm,
really fucking strange, and I'm glad we never had
absolutely.
one.
We had 3 of them. It's just like, wow,
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think that was maybe the backbone of it, of how things started. That's what I'm thinking. Anyways, because I can't remember like anything being like. I know like some like if you have like an object or something, or
mm,
a bit of furniture or a mirror or an old, just something of value or old could possibly start things up like that.
yeah,
But for me, it was these 3 paintings that
mm,
that caused so much shit. It
yeah,
wasn't like I say, it wasn't like Exorcist style or nothing happened like the poltergeist or anything like that. Like, there was, I mean, don't get wrong, there was poltergeist activity.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, I mean, we at the time, my dad used to work nights in a bakery,
mm,
and there would be some nights my mum would beg him not to go to work
yeah,
because of what went on through the night.
mm,
So, but it was just sort of like chin up and get on with it sort of thing. Like, you had to,
yeah,
that was it basically. And so, yeah, it was a bit of we lived there. I mean, how we put up with it for all them years. I think I moved out about when I was about 8 or 9 or something like that. I remember sort of just moving, where did we moved to? We moved somewhere, but yeah, that's for me, that's how it all started.
fair enough, fair enough.
And like you said, over the years that we moved more times than the bloody than gypsies, like, and we weren't. My mum wasn't. Was this sort of person where she wasn't happy in one house. She was sort of like she would get comfy somewhere, and then she'd have to move somewhere else. And
Mm,
some, you know what I mean? And it's just like
yeah, yeah,
so we're getting settled in. And I've asked her over the years, why do you feel the need to move? She just says, because I just don't feel comfy here. I don't, you know, and it is a bit of a ball ache sort of moving, you
Yeah.
know, and like I say, we moved in this. I remember when I was about 10 or 11, we moved into this farm cottage near a place called Scremson, which is not far from Berwick and that. And it was that old. I mean, the cottage still had electrics in from the 1940s.
Christ.
That's how old it was, like, you know. And we would experience a few things going on in there as well. Not so much like some footsteps, or I wouldn't say like any like poltergeist activity or anything like that. But you could, I could sense something was there. The hairs in the back of you, my neck would like be on edge. The
Yeah.
hairs in your arms, you know, like things like that. I'd always feel there was something there watching you at night when we're sort of lying in your bed, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it used to be apparently it used to be an old woman that used to come and visit my younger brother at night.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So just to go back to the first house there then. So because
Yeah.
one thing that really stuck on my head there was when you said I was seeing things going through walls. So was that like full apparitions, or was it just like,
Yeah.
how the hell do I put it? Oh, like a mist thing, sort of. Was it just like a shape? Do you know what I mean?
Started off with like cat, but we didn't have a cat.
Yeah.
We didn't own a cat. How that came about was I think it was my dad was sort of peeling chips at the time at the sink.
Mm.
And the next minute, this cat just appeared from nowhere. My dad's like, "How are you getting in?" You know, the back door wasn't open or anything like that. So he's like stroking this cat, and it turns around and just walks through the wall.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this cat just walks through the wall.
He physically touched it?
Physically touched this cat, and honestly, he says it felt like he was just stroking a real cat. But at the same time, he was thinking, well, how the hell did he get in there? Because I haven't got the back door open. And I asked him, well, how come you were stroking a cat? He didn't even know how it got in the house. But I don't know. It just sits there. And I thought, I'm stroking this cat, and about turn and walk through the wall.
What the that's weird. I've never heard out like that before.
Yeah.
That is definitely weird. Like, the fact that you could actually physically touch it as well. That's the really weird bit there. That's fucking bizarre.
It's just like you say. It was just like as if he was touching a real cat.
Mm.
You know, you feel the head and you know everything. But next minute, poof, gone. And we'd have other times. We'd have, I think it was like hands coming out the wall walk through the wall. The hands like sort of just like, and it was like sort of stuff like out the corner of your eye most of the time. But half the time, it was actual just things coming out the wall. Like I remember my mum and dad used to have. I think it was called budgie guards or let's just say budgies. And they were a bit acting strange as well. Really strange. As if something was disturbing them. Things like that, like, you know, and but then stupidly, what I would say stupid one, like they got introduced to a Ouija board.
Fuck that. I've never messed around with them things, I must admit.
Don't get us wrong, I'll look at one, but yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. Personally, I wouldn't say, how are gang? Let's go into a Ouija board for the fun of it. It's not for me. It's not, because a lot of things can happen with like stuff like that.
So have you had a bad experience with one then? Or have you just always point blank refused to use them?
I think I've done one once, but that was in a group but once, but it didn't last long. It was like, oh no, fuck that. I'm not, it's not for me. I don't want to, because you always, that thought was always playing in my mind, thinking if I start pissing on with this board, thing's going to happen. Because my missus, every time I go and do a hunt. See, that's the thing. I like to call them investigations. Hunt is like if you're going to hunt something, like you're going out to kill something, things like that. It's, for me, it's like it's investigation.
I prefer the word investigation as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Because that's what you are. That's what you're doing. You're investigating the paranormal.
Exactly.
You're not going out to say, right, I'm going to hunt this ghost and, you know, give them what for.
Exactly.
But the wife says to me, she says, please don't bring anything back. And I say, I'll try my best, because as you know, from when we did the air museum,
Andy's drive,
yes, that things can go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. We'll definitely get into that a bit later as well.
Definitely, yes.
So I'm surmising, like I say, when all this was happening when you were a kid, that, like I say, it was scary.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
So can you
Definitely.
remember? Can you remember then when it's because obviously stuff that happens is still scary now. But can you remember? Can you remember the point where it became like an interest as well and something you wanted to actually look more into? Can you remember when that was?
I think it was like more or less in my teenage years.
Mm.
I sort of had this interest of like looking at books. So I go to the library
Yeah.
and looking books on the paranormal.
Mm.
You know, I loved um looking through books, pictures, and like that. You know, stuff
Yeah.
that probably give you nightmares, and I probably regret it afterwards. You know, that's where it got. I was sort of starting to get that sort of tingling for it, like that feeling for it, like,
Mm.
and obviously with the experiences that I've had previously as a kid,
Yeah.
uh, really got me sort of interested, and so from then on right through till now, you know, I love watching documentaries on the paranormal.
Mm.
I love watching, like, say, stuff like Ghost Adventures. I remember when Most Haunted started. I
Yeah.
used to be glued to that, and then
Yeah.
until I
Yeah.
found out like some of that stuff was just fake as shit.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, you know, Derek Corey used to make me laugh. You know,
Oh yeah, same.
the amount of stuff he'd come out like Mary Loves Dick and all this and stuff.
That's a classic on here. Honestly, the amount of American guests that I've had on here that I've told that about and sent them the clip, and it's brilliant telly. It was
Absolutely, absolutely.
fantastic.
And I watched like videos and like you know on YouTube, things like that. Now you got
Mm.
that so much access
Yeah.
to different things, like different videos and stuff like that, you know,
Mm.
that you can watch. And for me, I'd rather watch stuff like that
Yeah.
than something else. Yeah, you know, a bit. So yeah, I'm just what I say is I wouldn't say it. What I say is an obsession because I'm out doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Probably, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
It's an expensive hobby.
We'll say passion. So you know, so it
Yeah, yeah, passion. Yeah.
doesn't sound as mental.
The wife always says to me, says this ghost hunting malarkey, like, you know, it's cool. It's because obviously, yeah, I mean, some investigations we do take us away from like an overnight stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we have got a couple coming up this year, in fact, with them. But like, so yeah, it can get a bit pricey. You
Oh
know,
yeah, definitely.
especially with if you're adding bits of equipment to the stuff that you've
Hmm.
already got, because you're thinking, oh, I need one of them. Well, I need it's
Exactly.
like the other night. Like the other night, I was watching Ghost Adventures, and I know they use like what they call it, a tri-field meter,
Yeah.
and that's for measuring EMF, spikes in EMF, and things like that. And I thought, oh, they look pretty good, like, you know. And I looked on eBay, and I think there's ones going for like £150
Mm.
upwards, you know.
Yeah.
So I messaged the group chat the other night, and I said to Liam, I said, we need one of these. And I even messaged Michelle
Mm.
saying, you need one of these for the museum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like some of the stuff they use, like the polter gear and things, not polter gear, like polter pod and things like that. You're always thinking that's interesting stuff. So, I mean, some of the stuff I've got, you know, usual, like just cat balls, but if someone's coming along to investigations with you and say, oh, what's that for? What do you use this for? What's, you know, and like what was it I said? I'm sure I said something like, I was on an investigation once, wasn't that long ago actually, and I says, oh, this is what are they? So these are cat balls. Cat balls. Yeah, this is just put them on the floor, press the button on the top, put them on the floor. Something's got to physically touch it for it to go
Mhm.
off. You know, I think I get more. I mean, I use like say like motion sensor lights, you know, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Liam, he likes to use like say the spirit box,
Mm.
and some of the stuff we have through that alone is great,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely great. You know, we recently up the game by doing like the telephone experiment, which I
Oh,
think you've experienced.
yeah.
I think it'd be nice to do it other places, not just the Air Museum.
Mm.
Which I think we probably will do, but it all depends what venue you do and things like that, because it's all about time and things. You know, if you've only got a place for a few certain hours, then you've got to try and cram as much in as possible.
Yeah, and obviously, like I say, I mean, I've been to the Air Museum, which obviously we'll talk about. We'll talk more about in a bit. But that's such a big place Where for example, like if you try to do the thought experiment in 30 East Drive, don't know how well it'd work because you're almost too close to it. If that makes
Yeah.
any sort of sense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start getting into investigating them? Because obviously when we were speaking to each other at East Drive, obviously I found out you've been there before you were with New Dawn Paranormal. So when did the investigation start side for you?
Only started
I
for
said
me.
that completely wrong then. I said side start for you. That doesn't make sense.
I know what you mean. Started for you. It's late. I know it's late.
I'll leave that bit in.
I've been doing New Dawn Paranormal. Well, sorry, I haven't been doing. I've been with New Dawn Paranormal now for, I think it's nearly 4 years. 4 years, I think.
Mm.
So before that, it's going on for about maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
Right, fair enough.
So it's, I would go along to like you said before. I have done East Drive previously, obviously before New Dawn. It would just be like maybe say 3 or 4 of us would go down. It wouldn't be a massive group or anything like that, because obviously you would be there with other folk that have, I think it's one of these. It was 3 of these. One of these. I think it was a group called Haunted Happenings or something like that they're called, or whatever they're called. They would do like ghost adventures, ghosty sort of investigations, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I've done Chillingham as well.
Mm.
I think New Dawn haven't done that yet. There is talk of it, but again, it's all the money. So yeah, for me it was roughly about then. Yeah, I didn't have the gear then. I didn't have what I've got now. But it did sort of think, well, I might need this or need that, and so yeah, for me, that's it. For me, it was just back then,
Yeah. Would you say then before you joined obviously New Dawn that it was not long, but basically just before that when you started getting into it then, and then obviously when you joined New Dawn, that was when you really
yeah.
took it seriously, sort of thing. If that makes any sort of sense.
Yeah. I mean, it was sort of Liam had messaged, because obviously his missus works with my missus, because they're obviously both hairdressers and that.
Right.
So that's how I got to know Liam, because of what my missus does and her Liam's missus does as well. And he messaged me saying, "Oh, look, I've just left this paranormal team." He says, "Me and my dad want starting our own team up.
Yeah.
Would you be interested? Because obviously you got to find out that I was into the paranormal and stuff like that." And at first I thought, yeah, I do actually. I do fancy it. I do want to. So that's how it came to be. So he was asking a few others, a few of these friends that were interested in the paranormal as well, and so that's how New Dawn sort of came to be. It grew and grew, and then obviously William had lost his dad and stuff like that, and that took a massive effect over it. I'd not long lost my dad as well. So yeah, it kind of sort of grew, and then sort of just it was put on hold for a little bit, and then we sort of say, right, we found the right time to sort of say, right, let's do it. Let's just go for it, I think the first investigation for New Dawn was Burnett Field Community Centre, which for me scared the shit out of me.
Why?
It's one of these places where to look at it, you're thinking, nah, it doesn't look that bad. But I'm not kidding you. As soon as I walked, I remember it very, very well. As soon as I walked through the door, the main door, I just got chills all over. I thought, something's here, and I can feel it. I tried to sort of just shake it off, because I thought it's nerves, because obviously it's my first investigation as a team, not for me as such, because I've done previous investigations before, but with New Dawn, I thought I didn't want to fuck it up. Basically, I want to be as professional as I could.
Yeah.
Semi-professional. So we got everything all sorted and whatnot, lights out and stuff like that. And, we went off to we split the team up into, it was about 3 or 4 teams or whatever. And we went to this different areas of the building. And as the night went on, we were getting some really good communication, like you say, like through REM pods, cat balls, spirit boxes, that sort of thing. And I can't remember, something did happen that night, but I can't remember if it was happened on the second time I went or the first time. I can't remember, but I'm going to say maybe it was for the first time. It was in this boxing ring, and I was stood at one end and Liam was stood at the other. I was asking questions and all this stuff, and it almost felt that somebody grabbed me or pushed me. Either way, I ended up on my back, as if somebody just went, and I was like, sort of thinking, and I couldn't remember a thing. I just remember like on the floor, and I'm like that. I'm got me arms up, and I'm sort of
shielding yourself,
shielding myself, screaming like a little baby.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, because I think that was on a live. It was on a live then, and we just cut the live, and I was like, "Get me out, get me out," So we went straight outside, sort of calmed down a little bit and whatnot, and say, "Right, come on, let's just get back in there." But obviously, if things do go beyond that, Ian would probably call it, which he has done in previous investigations that we've done. Say, "Well, that's it, done." And then I think later on in the night, had a hold of me as such. Like, apparently, this is what Liam was telling us, that I was saying, "This is my school. This is my school." I just felt sort of anger and just like as if I wanted to just punch somebody. So they got me out, and apparently he was saying I had my fingers like this on a wall and a window ledge outside. And I was scraping my hands down this window ledge, saying, "This is my school. This is my school." Because and the reason why I was apparently saying that is because there was back in the days, like I think it was the 1800s, the early 1900s, there used to be a headmaster. Obviously, it used to be a school back then when it was first built, and the headmaster was a right sort of bastard, like, yeah. He used to treat the kids really unfairly and stuff like that. So I think I'd been sort of taken over with that. And then, we had a medium at the time trying to calm me down and doing all the medium magic and things like that, like I used to call it, And that really, for a first time investigation with New Dawn, that really scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I can fucking imagine. So, I mean, it would have done me. I'm glad my first one didn't go like that. Jesus Christ.
Well, you never know what's going to happen the next one. But the thing is, like, and I do think from then on, that's why they call him, like, that's what I think, I don't know if Liam's mentioned before, but that's why I get called liability, because I'm a fucking liability. I think I'm easy picking. I'm easy meat sort of thing. This is why I wear this sort of protection sort of thing. Like, and I know it doesn't always work, but Michelle, bless her, she's like, "You behave tonight. I'm telling you, love, you behave," and all this. Like, I try, but
yeah.
So yeah, and then from then on, we've done places in like Sedura and things like that, and like we've done a place called Wrighton Masonic Hall, which is a great place to investigate, but there's something dark and I say dingy, so it's dark. There's something dark about that place, and there's been a few things that's happened to me. I think it took actually about 5 or 6 of them to drag me out of the building at one point.
Christ.
I know I'm probably sort of jumping from story to story, but I'm trying to think of the more sort of beefier sort of investigations that we've been on, and
yeah.
It wasn't to the point where nothing's ever happened where I've gone and like grab somebody and haul him up against the wall. Like, you see these films that are just like, well, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever happened to me like that before, but this particular time in Brighton, we was up in the Masonic Hall bit, and we heard this was all in this big hall. And you imagine it's pitch black. You've got all your gear set up, like, and then within the next minute, boosh, the door slams. Why the door slams? Because nobody was near it.
Yeah.
Nobody was near it. How it came to be of why the door slammed, I think, what I probably stupidly done, as I knocked on the door 3 times. Well, see, if you hear like a knock at the 3 times, it's like Mark of the Trinity or whatever it is. It's so whether that caused something to happen, I don't know. But apparently, I lost my shit. And it took, like I said, I don't think Liam was there that night. But the rest of the team they were like, get him out. And I said, and they all said to me, it felt like they were lifting like just dead weight. And I was like, after obviously they took me outside and whatnot, and then the cold air sort of like, wow, it's like a slap in the face. So it wakes you up a little bit. And Christ, that's another thing that scared me. I say I just question myself. I just must be easy meat.
Yeah,
easy meat. There has been other times where things have happened at the Air Museum where I've been actually, I think it was, I can't remember if it was the middle hangar. You got the big. So if you look at it from sort of this point of view, you got the main hangar, you got the Tram Shed, and on this side you've got hangar 1, and then you got the helicopter with the Royal Navy helicopter, and you got the American hangar. I think it was the American hangar. I think that I was checking a bit of equipment. I was putting something down anyways. And again, it felt like I was actually lifted off the ground for literally a couple of split seconds. Lifted off the ground. As if somebody grabbed my hood and just went, and I hit the ground with some force. That sort of scared everyone. Was scared the shit out of me and scared the shit out of everybody else.
I can imagine.
And I was sore for a few days. And you sort of get, it's every investigation that you do, you sort of get that sort of what they call paranormal hangover.
Yeah.
And it does. It's like the recent one we've just done at in Sunderland, the Havelock Towers. Wow, what a place! And I think after Shrewsbury, we've got like say Shrewsbury coming up, Shrewsbury Prison. That's in March, I think it is. I think after that we're going to sort a date out for that. So if we can get sorted, we'll fetch you along to that one.
Yeah, man, definitely. So here's an idea then. So give us you don't have to give us too much background on it, but what would be like your top 3 places that you've investigated?
The top 3. So my first one would be the Air Museum.
Yeah,
without a doubt, that tops everything. I love the place.
Yeah.
If I was a millionaire, I'd live there. It's not because it's full of planes and things like that. I do have a keen interest in that as well, like, World War II and things like that. And, that's the top one. Second one, I would say would be East Drive, 30 East Drive.
Fair enough.
Because obviously, that a lot of weird shit happens there and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think for my last one would be, I don't know, it's a tough one, that one, I think. Wrap my brains where we've been. But I know we've done a few places in Amble as well. I think it used to be an old sandwich. It's a sweet shop now, but it used to be a sandwich shop, and that was pretty intense stuff. But we was getting good communication, so I'll probably be my last one.
Fair enough.
There's an old sandwich shop in Amble that we used to do. It's only a very, very small place, but yeah. The amount of communication we was getting through there, and that particular place. It's like you're reading a book. For me, it was like reading a book. So you'd start off, then you sort of like it's one of them slow readers where you get to the middle, you started getting somewhere, and then you were sort of so close to the end, but you couldn't finish it because obviously they were shutting the shop, and it was getting turned into a sweetie shop. Like, so that kind of put the kibosh on that. Yeah, so that would be my top 3, yeah.
Fair enough. So as well, then, just to sort of flip it then, so what would be your top 3 bucket list places to investigate? This could be anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be here in the UK, anywhere in the world. There's 3 places that you could go to that you haven't been to. Where would it be?
I would like to do, top 1 would be Zach Bagan's Haunting Museum.
Aye.
In Las Vegas. That's a dream, but probably never happen. We'll see. That would be my first one. Second one would probably be Bamburgh Castle.
Yes, that'd be a good shout.
Absolutely. That tons and tons of history there. Definitely. And my third one would probably be like a state penitentiary in America or somewhere, whatever.
Yeah, good shout.
An old prison. Definitely.
All good shouts. I'd love to do something around Whitby Abbey, me.
Yeah. Because like Michelle, when she's been there, she's been to Whitby. I'm sure sometime last year, and she was saying that she went a ghost walk and things like that. And even the hotels she was stopping in was
Yeah.
weird things going on in there.
Well,
So yeah.
I've got a cracking story that my dad told me from an old hotel in Whitby. So a guy that he used to work with, he was a brickie, and when they were renovating this hotel, he was bricking up a doorway, and he got like three quarters of the way, so like he couldn't actually see into the room. He probably had about about 3 or 4 courses of bricks left to do. And he put a brick on, and he bent down to pick up a brick, and he looked, and then when he looked back up, he was like, "I've just fucking laid that brick," and he wasn't there. So then he done it again, and then he went back, and then he done it twice. Then the third time, like I say, he goes back, gets a brick, goes to put it back, and he sees a hand take the brick away. That'd fuck me up. I'd be straight out.
Probably for me, and I'll be like, nah, that's it for me. Like, yeah, I'm done.
I'd be running straight to a shop, buying some new fucking underpants, and going home and closing all the curtains, locking all the doors and everything.
Oh, without, yeah, definitely. But I would imagine that place would be with not just one particular place, but I think most of the area or whatever would be a great place to investigate. Like,
the whole place would be, but like I say, it's especially around the Abbey, you definitely get some fucking good activity around there, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without
definitely.
a doubt. About activity, yeah, definitely.
Right then, Mike. So we've mentioned it a few times. So let's dive into the Air Museum then, because I know you all love the place. I've already been there once, and I already love the place. So just talk to me about the place, because it's just a cool place in general. Never mind the ghosts.
Without a doubt. Like I say, I've just said before, it's one of my top places to investigate. With it being an old RAF base, I am really into the likes of the RAF war, anything to do with planes, sort of thing. It tops my list. And that particular place, for me, is great. It's like, there's just something about that place. It's like, when you're there, you sort of, you get started,
Yeah.
And the guys who run it, like Sir Keith and David and that, are top-notch guys. Absolutely. Make you feel so welcome and that, and we trying to sort of like make it work for everyone that goes, the whole place. I mean, I'll probably say every hangar would be ideal to sort of investigate. But what I think one of the most darker ones
Tram Shed
is the Tram Shed.
Yeah. I'm going to have to make a confession on here.
Right.
So, because when I first started this, when I had my old co-host Billy, and he used to talk to me about residual energies, I used to always tell him, "Look, bollocks, it's not a fucking thing. You're talking shit." This was also when I was very much, a hell of a lot more skeptical. But the Air Museum is the place that made me believe in residual energy, because obviously Liam, obviously when I come the first time, Liam obviously took me on a little tour around before we started and everything, and showed me all the hangars and told me a bit about what happens in each of them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I say we went into the first one, the main one, and it was an odd feeling, but it wasn't nothing more than that. And also, like you said the first time, I don't know, maybe it was just a little bit of nerves.
Mm-hmm.
The second we walked into that tram shed, first of all, fucking colder than the fucking Atlantic. Don't understand how. And straight away, this was before Liam had even told me anything that happens in there. Like, straight away, I was like, this feels weird in here, and it's not because there's a fucking Nissan Micra from the 70s next to me either. I was like, what? I was like, there's definitely something fucking weird in here. And then as soon as we come out again, that feeling just disappeared. And we went into all the other ones, and again, a weird feeling, bit odd, but nothing like sinister or anything. But when you go in there, there's definitely something fucking dodgy in there, which
without a doubt,
know for definite.
Well, yeah. It's I'd say it's one of the darker sheds of all. We have great communication in there. And every time we sort of go in there, your eyes are always fixated at the back. And it has been a few times where I think because obviously they've had a bit of a change around in there. Obviously, when you come to the next investigation with us at the museum, you'll probably find that it's changed around a bit. Like, you always see, like, as if someone's peeking around, thinking, "Oh, here they come, here they come." It's like, oh Christ, I wonder what's going to go on in here. You know, when the shit's going to hit the fan, sort of thing. And the most interesting part of that shed would be like the German tram that they found in a quarry. I think is that's where it was found. But it's got no windows. Well, it's got one or two windows, but not every window's there. But when you're on that particular tram, I don't think it's open to the public as such. I think it's just for ghost teams and things like that. Did you go onto the German tram?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you walked onto the tram? Did you feel anything? Did you feel like you think, oh, nothing's here? Did you feel like a bit anxious? You know, because and then I'll tell you how I feel when I go on there.
This is what's weird to me, because like I say, obviously, because like I say that's in the tram shed, which like I said is colder than the Atlantic. When I got onto there, it felt warmer on there to me.
Right.
So like I say, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what, but it might just been because I wasn't fucking shivering, but I felt all right on there. I felt a little bit calmer when I was on there, me.
For me, it's different. It's like it's not as dark as what it is on the Black Tram, but for me, when I walked onto the German tram, I just felt I don't know, you'd feel like sadness because of what obviously the story that we told you about what happened on the tram and things like that.
Yeah.
And I have done a lone vigil on there as well. Well, I've been actually blindfolded on the German tram. In the middle, I do the strangest shit, mate. Like, but you know, I'm game for most things, not anything, not everything, should I say, but most things. I was roped into doing a lone vigil on the German tram one particular night, and the live, I had a cat the live on me, and you know, and we said, you know, if whoever's watching, if you notice anything, you know, do that. Sorry, make sure you take your screenshots and whatever you do. You know? So when I sat in there, I literally shat my pants, but I felt coldness all around me. I just felt like, I don't know if it was just like nerves, because I was there on my own in the dark.
Yeah.
Even though I had a blindfold over my eyes, but I kept going like that with the blindfold. And all I could see was the light, the sort of light off the phone, like doing the live, and they had a radio with us. And they kept talking to me, like, "Are you all right, Mike?" You're right. "Yeah, I'm fine, fine." You know, somebody's watching the live. I can't remember who was watching, but somebody in the cabin was watching the live, and just to make sure I was fine and things like that. So for me, that was like a kind of a shit my pants moment. But what really, really sort of got me was when I did a lone investigation on the Black Tram. I think you were there that night.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was just going to come on to. So just before we finish on the German tram, then can you remind me, and obviously the listeners, because obviously we mentioned obviously that there's a story behind it. Can you remind me of it? I know it's a little girl, isn't it?
It's a little girl. Yeah, that was apparently. I think it was. I don't know if it was 4 German officers or 4 Kriegsmarine officers. That's the German Navy had basically set upon this girl and did
horrific stuff.
Did horrific stuff, and obviously, you know, that was it. Like I think that's how she haunts that.
Yeah,
haunts that tram, the German tram. I think we have had, over the past few investigations that we've done on that tram, we have had like, the German officers or Navy personnel come through. You know, she finds herself more comfortable when women are on there, like the girls are on there, but with men, she's a bit dubious, sort of bit. I don't think she doesn't like it because obviously of what happened.
Yeah,
you
makes
know.
sense.
So yeah, and then there's been a few times where we've captured. I think I took one photo once. I can't remember what investigation it was on, but I took a photo once, and it's probably on my Dawn page somewhere, and take a purple sort of light image sort of thing. I took it so when you walk onto the tram, you're sort of looking down towards the tram, and I took a picture, and it's like a blue, not blue, it's like a purple orb light sort of thing that's happening on there. But see, when Keith walks around, when he just appears from like nowhere, because he's quite good at that, and he takes the amount of pictures he gets is unreal.
Yeah,
Hence why,
he showed me some when I was there.
yeah. And some of them are like, I mean,
Mm,
yeah, some of you do have to look,
yeah.
but other ones are just are sort of crystal clear.
Mm,
And I'm thinking, oh, what am I, what am I doing wrong here? Like, I'm taking I'm not really the person to take pictures. I mean, Liam would, maybe it was the others, but for me, I thought, I'm going to up my game here. So I found a digital camera in the drawer, and I thought, yeah, I'll have that. Obviously changed the card around because I don't want to delete the pictures of the kids and put a new card in. And I've been taking pictures and things like that. And I think you would get more evidence on a digital camera than you would on a phone. That's my
yes, yeah.
opinion, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so, just purely on the basis that it's a better camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, definitely.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I know what you mean there.
Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah. So for me, that it's the German tram's like a sacred tram. It's like you like
mm,
when before. I think there's been a few times where before we've got on say hello, because I think the little girl, she's called Meta or Marta or something.
yeah.
When you slide open that door, you say hello, Meta. Can we come on? Are we okay to come on the tram? And we don't wait for sort of the particular answer, but it's just the way we just want to welcome ourselves onto the tram sort of thing, rather than just go on and
Yeah, try and keep it respectful.
yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And then on the way out, we'll say, right, Martin, we'll be back later, or we'll see you again soon, or whatever.
Mm,
So it's that sort of common courtesy to say,
yeah.
because we're not there to pull them to bits,
Mm,
even though they come out trying to scare the shit out of you and things like that. We're not there to sort of ruin their evening. You know what I mean? Turn up
yeah.
like gate crasher ghost party and things like that. We're not there to do that. We're there to investigate, to find
Yeah.
out, like how they've passed on or why
Mm,
they're still there, that sort of thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right then, Mike, talk to me about the Black Tram then, because, like I say, obviously that was my first investigation, and I was one of the ones sat watching the live whilst you were sat in there on your own, and I thought you were a fucking lunatic, but yeah. But I never got a chance to ask you, because obviously you had a moment where you were just like, right, no, get me out,
Yeah.
can't do it, let me out.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. Talk me through it.
Well, obviously, I'll do the short straw, and because for stuff like that, I think Liam tends to put like a poll on the new Dawn page, and
Yeah.
obviously, I was the lucky one to do that, like so, um, so walking up to the tram, you gotta have your wits about you. You're thinking, because you just think, I'm going to be there on my own. That I've
Yeah.
just explained with the German tram. Yes, you've got bits of equipment. You got a walkie-talkie there for you got somebody watching the live sort of thing and whatnot. Like, but as soon as that, I think it was a blind. I think it was a blind. I had a blindfold on. But soon, it was just sort of the same feeling as what it is in the German tram.
Mm.
But people could see on the live stuff behind me, like figures appearing behind me. Now, I can't remember if it was on outside the window itself, or was it on, how there's a tram next to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, if different folk could see figures or whatever, apparitions or whatever on that particular tram or whatever.
I think if I remember rightly, it was a bit of both, because I'm sure when we were watching the live, it was Michelle that was saying that there was something behind you. And then when me and Liam come to get you, and obviously for some reason then the three of us stayed on there, that's when Liam was saying that there was things, people, whatever, in the tram next to us, because that was when he told me, because obviously I was sat on the same side as you, but I was sat like with my back to the window.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he said, obviously something's just like gone past us there, and my back was freezing. So I was like, I was just like this. I was just looking down the whole time. I was like, I want to know, don't want to know, don't want to know. Shut up.
Yeah, that's, I think what it is, once you get that blindfold on,
Mm,
you're shutting all your senses out.
yeah.
So yeah, I think you're bound to sort of like, because even though I had a blindfold on, I still had my eyes shut, sort of thing.
Mm,
And all sorts of things are playing in your mind. You're expecting, like, say, maybe for me, I was expecting somebody to go on the back and the window, like, oh, it really, really capped my pants if that happened, like, you know. I just didn't feel comfortable. I felt as well as if somebody was on the tram watching me.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I felt. Probably from both ends, like from where the driver's cab is, and then when like in the aisle, you know. And I was like, yeah, this is enough for me. Like, you know, I probably didn't. You know, for a fact, I didn't last long. You know, would I do it again? I don't know. Maybe. Probably do it with somebody there to sort of keep reassuring me. But I don't know. I'll probably get roped into it again at some point. Don't mind, look. But
I kind of want to say, because we're going next. Is it next month we're going? Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
February.
the
Yeah,
not
21st.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, 21st is February. So this episode will be out by then. Oh, I'm really tempted to say that I'll do it with you, but that is only if I want to.
What do you mean? You love it. You love it. But how about you do it yourself?
I'm not doing it on my fucking own. I'm not stupid.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be funny
Fuck
that if
that.
you did by yourself.
Mm,
But
yeah.
the stuff we were getting last time on the tram, on the Black Tram, we had a couple of stones thrown. So we were sat. So when you go onto the tram, we were sat sort of this side rather than on that side. So we all piled into that. I say all, but yeah, we did all piled into that side. So I think it was David Keith. I had Paula there. There was myself. There was Liam and Dan. Because Dan was there last time. He's my younger brother who's part of New Dawn and sometimes comes on the investigations. I think Liam was using this new ITC app on his phone.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's got like a yes no sort of. You ask a question, it goes yes or no, or it's got like a dead bell on it, another fancy sort of things on it as well.
Yeah.
I was shooting live down the wards. We had the music box at the entrance that kept going off. And then we could see, somebody said they could see, I think somebody had taken a couple of screenshots of the live and said they could see faces in the window and where the driver's cab is and things like that. And then the next minute, we're getting what appears to be stones thrown at, like, just little ones sort of like that big. I could feel something hit the inside of my right leg. And it was if somebody was doing that. And I looked down and there was a stone right there in between my legs. And that's twice that happened.
Yeah.
But there was nobody on the other side though. That was the haunting thing. Haunting thing. So yeah, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's intense. You know, get a couple of stones thrown in, like, you know. Yeah. So that was good. Like, I think later on the night we did another phone experiment, where we left my phone in the American hangar, and then we all sort of piled into the Tram Shed again to speak to the Americans or whatever that used to work in that particular hangar. And I have mentioned, like, you know, it would be maybe it was a good idea to do it like rotate. You know, like, so maybe do it like next time we go, maybe do it in another hangar, and then next time you go, not, you know, do another one and another one, you know, so you sort of, you know, we're not just doing the same thing every time we go there, like, you know, so we try and give every hangar a chance to see, because obviously with the main hangar, obviously with the Gilair plane, we have had some cracking sort of communication on that as well. Even, I don't know if you've probably seen the picture where there's like a blurred sort of figure with what looks like a cigarette in the hand.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
Absolutely. But like I say, I'll probably say, like, yeah, all the investigations I've done, that's my top place.
So just to finish off then, on the finish off in general and on the Black Tram. So obviously my first investigation, obviously when we all went back in to the Tram Shed and we all went back on the Black Tram. Me, you, and Liam were sat at the back, and there was things tapping on the windows and on the walls. And then something happened to you, Mike. Tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It wasn't me, was it? It was like as if I'd been taken over by something.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, and my ass was going.
I can imagine.
Genuinely, right? I didn't actually want to look at you and make eye contact with you.
Right.
I don't know why, but I just had a really like feeling. I was just like, I'm not making fucking eye contact with him. Fuck that sort of thing. I don't know why. I don't know what it was, but I just had like an instinct of like not to fucking look at you in the fucking eyes. I
Because
don't know why.
it felt it just yeah. Obviously, I've seen the footage. You see the footage because you were there, like, but
I took the footage.
you took the footage, yeah. It wasn't me. It was just like as if I was like I say, like I was someone else, and it was like, who's Mike? Who?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Michelle was like, sort of, Mike, think of your dad, think you know, come back was Mike. That's and Liam. I think other Liam was like he was probably shitting his pants, because I think at one point I was sort of like squaring up to him, sort of thing,
Yeah.
and he was sort of like just keeping me push me back, but just sort of keeping his hand at a distance, sort of thing, saying, "Who's this?" And
Yeah.
Mike, for me that was just strange, absolutely strange. Like I've been saying before, I think I am just easy meat, whether I'm protected or not.
Yeah.
But that was scary. I think that's, I don't know, that's not really happened to me before the museum as such. But
Yeah. Well, it's like I said afterwards. I was because. Like I say, it was very fucking weird because I mean I don't know if you I don't even know if you remember how it started. It's obviously like I say me, you and Liam were sat at the back of the bus, and then you sort of went like dead limp and like your head went down sort of thing, and then me and Liam like dragged you off, and then we were walking you out, and then that was when that happened, and then like I said, I mean at the time I was just part of me thought that you were like taking a piss to sort of like wind me up a little bit sort of thing. Like there was a little bit in my head that was that.
yeah,
But then I got like a really weird feeling. I was like, no, they're not taking the piss now. I was like, what the hell? Then I thought, I know what the best thing to do is just slowly pull my camera out, press record.
and you got it all. You got it all.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. But then I don't know. I just had a really weird feeling. I just not to look at you. I was just like, I'm not making fucking eye contact with whatever the hell this is. Fuck that is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well,
It
yeah,
was
that
like
was fucking strange.
absolutely, and that's it. If nothing was mentioned, or if I didn't sort of see the footage, I wouldn't have said, well, what's happened there? Because obviously, coming out with that, you do feel like you've been like you just feel drained,
Yeah,
and
win
just
10
like
rounds.
yeah, I like you're thinking, I've had enough. I just want to go home, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, whether it'll happen again or not, hopefully not.
Yeah, well, we'll soon find out.
We'll soon find out.
Exactly.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, yeah. Because I've got one of them little cameras that you've got. There's a lad who's on the team, called Gary Lee, and he'll do like an investigation with it. He lives down Nottingham way, actually. So when we did, I was going to say Alton Towers, it wasn't Alton Towers, Havelock Towers. Alton Towers. When we did Havelock Towers, he had one of these cameras, and the videos that he was taking was absolutely crystal clear. And for sometimes like 40 quid or something like that. So
Yeah, it's all mine.
yeah. So I've got one. I've got a strap with it, whatnot, so I can put it on my little strap thing, and
Yeah, it's all body cams.
yeah. So we're gonna give it a try, because we was doing at the Havelock Towers, we were doing a bit of scrying. I was doing a bit of scrying because I was again rubbed into it, and that was, if you get, I don't know if it's on my page or YouTube or whatever, I can't remember. I think it's on my page. You'll see something's just not right with my face, because apparently when I was sat in this chair. Don't get me wrong, I had to sort of straighten myself up a bit to look in the mirror, because I couldn't, not as exactly slouching the chair, but I had to sort of get myself level with sort of eye level with the mirror. And Gary's just like, yeah, come here, look at Mike's face. That's not his face, and things like that, like, and his eyes and things, because there was two. We did a couple of scryings in there was two mirrors. So one was like a very small mirror, and the other was like, I had to stand up and look in this mirror, because when on the walk around, well, to start off at the beginning of that one, this Havelock Towers place, one part of it is from like the 1800s, and the other part's like much older. I think it's from this, it could be wrong, it's like 50s, 60s, 70s, or whatever. And on this when we was doing a walk around, we and this is the God's honest truth, of all the times and the investigations that I've done, I have never ever experienced what I experienced on a walk around, and that was with you could hear people. It sounded like people talking, and it was me, Liam, Gary, and he brought his friend along. That was his first time investigating with a ghost team, and obviously the lad who runs the place. And we was talking, like, he was explaining where this was and that was, but we stood in the main entrance of this place, and you could hear what it sounded like somebody talking, having a full blown conversation. We could hear footsteps, we could hear like taps here and there, and not like flushing taps, but like tapping noises. It was like we were sort of like standing, looking at each other, going, "Did you hear that? Could you hear this? Could you hear that?" And it's like, oh, and this guy's like, "Oh yeah. He's used to it. It doesn't scare him one bit because he's used to it." Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it happens all the time, mate." And then he was showing us around, especially at the old part of the building. He was showing us around, this part used to be a living room, and this, but the story behind it of the place, or what it used to be, was just like, even my jaw was literally dropping to the floor. It was just like, it was bad, really bad. A lot of naughty things happened with priests and things like that, like, and young kids and stuff like that. And
yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into it, like, but that's the sort of thing that used to go on in that place, when it used to be like, it used to be a place for naughty kids that they would go to, and it used to be a place for like unmarried mothers, pregnant mothers, that sort of thing. So it's been a lot of things over the years since its existence, sort of thing. And we were stopping an overnight. This is the sort of an overnight investigation. So we took their sleeping bags and stuff like that, like, and the amount of stuff we were getting, we didn't get a chance to sort of investigate the place to its full potential. So hence why we are going to go back, because it is quite a big place to investigate. Some of the stuff
I'll definitely be coming there.
without a doubt. It's the guy suggests that the ladies go to the toilet in pairs,
right?
Because apparently there's an old caretaker there that likes to perv on folk.
Ah, lovely.
With the women, anyways.
Lovely.
Yes. So for that one, so the investigation was sort of like, one, we started off in an old, me, Liam, Gary Lee, and this other chap, Rick. We started off in the old part of the building where the girls started off, like, in the other end, like, like the hall and things like that. That's where we had set up, because that was the warmest part of the building, actually, where we had all the gear set up and stuff. But that's it. If you speak to Liam, he'll probably go into more detail of that bit. For me, it was just phenomenal. We were sort of all gobsmacked of things happening before we even started investigating.
Yeah.
And we thought, we're going to be in for a good night here.
Definitely.
A really good night. So, yeah, it was all good.
Fair enough. Right then, Mike, well, with pervy caretakers, I think that's a good place to end it, mate.
Yeah. That's a highlight of the night, pervy caretaker.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Brilliant.
Right, Mike, do you want to let the listeners know where they can find New Dawn Paranormal?
Yes, they can find New Dawn Paranormal on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on TikTok, and you can find most of our videos on YouTube.
Nice.
New Dawn Paranormal, yes.
Happy days.
Yes. We haven't reached the far of like other platforms, but it's just a start.
Exactly. You've got to start somewhere.
You have indeed, mate. You have indeed.
Exactly. Right then, Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I shall see you at the Emmy Museum.
Yes, I'll look forward to it, and hopefully there'll be some interesting things happening.
Aye, we'll go and have a tea party in that Black Tram, eh?
Yeah, why not?
Exactly. Oh. And then, guys, thank you for listening. As always, go and follow our Instagram page at the Spooky Shed Podcast. The link in the bio there for all the other socials that we still don't use, but go and follow them anyway. The YouTube channel's there, merch store, Patreon page, a lot of good stuff. And we shall speak to you next time.
Excellent. Thank you.